Hi, I'm Sophia Haber-Brock, and welcome to the fourth edition of the North News for the 2020-2021 school year. Recently, I had the opportunity to do some interviews with professionals in the entertainment industry. Colby Frumer is an actor best known for starring in season 1 of the TV series Marvel's The Punisher. He had a lot of great stories about being a child actor and good advice for people who want to become an actor in the industry. Ryan Willard was also a child actor and known for We Sing the Movie and also Nickelodeon programs. As an adult, he has acted, written and produced films and TV shows, and is now a writer for a Sesame Street program. Chloe Lang is a dancer, singer, and actress, best known for her role as Stephanie in the children's show Lazy Town. We talked about her experiences, traveling, and an upcoming project. You can watch these interviews in full on our YouTube page, Middletown North TV Film Productions. Joanna Downing also had the chance to interview Mr. Alston about his new role with the North High School Yearbook. Let's check it out.
Welcome to the North News. My name is Joanna Downing, and today I am joined with Middletown North's newest yearbook advisor, Mr. Alston. Mr. Alston, thank you so much for joining me today.
Truly a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, Joanna.
Anytime. So let's just jump right in. Would you say all those activities and different experiences help you, inspire you to become the yearbook advisor?
100%. So a lot of the work that I had done with Blackboard and with our students, and actually one of our students, visually impaired, truly inspired me because the visually impaired student that I worked with had such just a natural capacity for learning, but really just giving me direct feedback and saying, okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Like I'm not able to interact with that. And again, I don't proclaim to know everything. I never will. I definitely know that working in teams, I truly believe is what life is about, and collaborating with other people. And obviously, good ideas need to be improved, right? So that whole experience naturally fit, and that's literally what I said in interview with Dr. Cartier and Dr. Falco just last summer. Literally, when the posting went up, I was asked, "So why do you think you'd be a great fit?" I said, "Well, I have great experience within the web format, and actually, I went to school at Rutgers University for journalism and mass media studies. So I've done a number of pieces in writing at least at that level, and did a lot of radio work where I had a radio show for about 3 years with some of my friends at school. So I felt like it was a natural transition. It was literally just changing the medium. And again, telling stories, right? And trying to showcase relationships that I think are super important and I still value to this day. And I know that obviously student leaders like yourself do too.
Yeah, so it sounds like with everything going on with COVID and quarantine, I feel like you have such a important story to tell with this yearbook. Are you excited about anything in particular about it?
100%. So I'm literally going to sidestep from what you just said. I feel the story is really our community story. You know, I just feel that I happen to be the advisor. Obviously, I'm someone that's trying to coach, if you will. That's kind of what I've always felt that I've done. You know, I've not only been a wrestling coach, but a coach in many other capacities throughout my years of service, almost 18 years now in education. But I truly believe the stories are really those that you and our student body have to share. There's so many. And for me, the most exciting part thus far about our learning and you being a member of our yearbook staff as well has really been diving in behind the scenes to see what that actually looks like. Learning a new platform because Jostens, which is a national provider, and they're our service, if you will, for yearbook, they're giving us on-demand training, which is great. We have a chance to actually literally build off of the tradition that years past have done. Yet I think the most important piece of this year is crowdsourcing, literally inviting our student body, inviting our staff to help us tell that story more than they have before. So as you know, and quite a few people in our community know, we've been asking students and staff to also share not only pictures, but also anything that really kind of resonates with them, story ideas, and that's literally where we are. So if you haven't seen it yet, that's one way I would love to offer to everyone listening at this time, and that would be to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram at the moment. We're going to build a few other platforms, specifically Facebook, I know, and of course, we're at MHSN Yearbook. Take a look, get involved within those surveys. That's one great way that you can share your ideas of what you want to see in the yearbook.
This is going to be a challenging year. It's going to be different. Obviously, it's going to be different than years prior. But
Sure.
how do you think we're going to overcome the challenges of this yearbook?
So I'm going to recall a great statement that the first principal I ever had when I started almost 18 years ago had said to me when I was literally in a substitute teaching role. That's how I started for a few years at the middle level and then went, at the high school level and then went to the middle level. The middle level principal had said to me, one thing, if you believe you're going to be successful in life as well as in this career of education, is you need to know that flexibility is key. I still keep that in mind every day. And then likewise, my coaches, just remembering it's a great day to be alive. We're here. We have an impact that we can actually make. And I try my best to use those things. I'm a human being like everyone else. I have emotions. I'm not always happy. I'm not always smiling. I do have my moments, but I'm thankful. I have gratitude. I'm appreciative. Even if something goes wrong, okay, let's figure it out, right? Like that's part of the problem solving experience. Let's work in community with others. Let's really make an impact. And I think that that's the key. And I feel honored every day to be in a capacity where I have an ability to learn with student leaders, again, like you and many others at Middletown High School North. It's the truth. There's not another role that I could see myself being in. And I felt this was a natural extension of it. And yes, our yearbook is a challenge this year for sure. And I know that the staff last year and likewise the advisor last year experienced some of those challenges, obviously leading up through March 13th when we left through the end of the school year. So yes, we do have many, but again, we will rise. We are lions. We've got lion pride. We're going to make this happen. And thanks to people like yourself, again, leaders like yourself, student leaders saying, okay, like we matter, we care. These are the things that we'd like to see. Here's how we can contribute. And again, we're all stretched for time, but to be able to say, you know what, I think this is important. Important. Let me take the time. Let me reserve some time. Let me share this because I really want to see it. And I thank the families. I really do. I've had so many families reach out to me in the last few months that are very concerned, want to know exactly what types of stories we're working on. And again, Jostenson's been great. As you're aware, they have over 50 stories or features for us to consider, many, many new layouts, and we have a lot of choices to make, and obviously publishing our school yearbook. But again, we're most excited. I think I speak on behalf of our staff. We're most excited to hear from our community, and the support has been tremendous from our families. So, and likewise, Dr. Carday and our administration as well. They continue to just say, okay, no problem. So unfortunately, December 21st for seniors, we're not going to have senior retake photos because our building is shut down. No problem. Reach out to Lures Photography. Now it's going to be on January 26th. And if that needs to change, we'll just keep flexibility in mind, right? I think that's the key. And for any underclassmen, this is a great pitch and position. I know a few families have reached out. If you've missed your opportunity, just know that there will be an opportunity. We're setting up a school-based time to take pictures, and those portraits will be done again in school through the cafeteria, just date to be determined again because of COVID-19. So we will have everyone featured. That is our goal, and that's our mission. We want to celebrate.
Thank you so much for being an inspiration, and thank you for your time, and thank you for spreading such positivity during this hard time. And I hope that everyone's watching this with hope and maybe a new interest in your book club or any other club that you might be interested in. So thank you again, Mr. Alston, for your time for this interview.
Truly a pleasure. And again, Joanna, thank you for also positioning it. Yes, we are always accepting new yearbook staff members. So even if it's something like recognizing people in pictures, which is called tagging of photos, we'd love to have you taking pictures like I know you like to do, or if you'd like to actually be involved in the actual layout and creation of it, we'd love to have you service and lead our community in the yearbook charge. Thank you all. Stay safe and be well, all right?
Joanna also interviewed some students about how they are adjusting to high school during these current times.
So would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Samantha Chipman. Most people call me Sam, and I'm a senior at Middletown North.
How has COVID impacted your senior year?
Well, obviously, it's made my senior year a lot different than it normally would have been. For example, I'm doing hybrid, so I'm in school Monday and Tuesday, and then sometimes Wednesdays, and then virtual the rest of the days. I think it's definitely made my senior year a bit more challenging than I thought it would have been, and definitely a lot different. But I also think that it's made my senior year more memorable and more impactful. Like I'm definitely getting more life lessons out of this than I would have like a regular senior year.
Can you share your educational experiences in Middletown?
Yeah, so prior to COVID and still now, I'm in a lot of like honors and higher level classes and I get pretty good grades. And I've always never really had much of a trouble with school and stuff like that. But when we first went virtual, and especially this year with the hybrid, I think I was definitely struggling a bit at first. So I was like, I'm so not used to this in the slightest. And at first I found it more challenging, but I think now that more time's gone on, I've gotten a lot more used to it, and I've been able to adjust and learn how to do things like virtual and in person and just learned more from it.
Last question. Do you have any advice or words of wisdom for people that are going through the same thing?
I think the biggest and most important thing we could do right now is just look on the positive side of things and just be there for each other. You know, a lot of us are going through very similar things right now, and it's definitely not easy because it was so unexpected. We never thought this would happen. But I think that there's always a good side to everything, and there's always something to look forward to and something positive. So I think definitely focusing on that. And like I said, just being nice to each other, looking out for each other. Because like I said, everyone's going through the same thing. So there's no reason in trying to tear each other down right now.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and I'm a senior at Middletown High School North.
How has COVID impacted your senior year?
COVID has impacted my senior year in somewhat of a positive way and not a negative way. For instance, with this online learning, I'm able to have more of a flexible schedule, and I'm able to accomplish more things other than schoolwork. Like I'm able to work more than I could have because we get out earlier. I think working is important. So,
Can you share your educational experiences in Middletown?
my educational experience in Middletown has been good for the most part. I've never had an issue with the learning in Middletown, but I do know that they're trying their best with this whole hybrid and online learning. I know it's not easy for them. It's not easy for anyone because no one has ever expected this, and I think they're doing a pretty good job, and you can tell that they're trying.
Can you give any advice or words of wisdom to people who are going through the same thing?
I think the best thing I can tell you is self-discipline. I think self-discipline is very important, especially when you're doing school from home, because it's very easy to get distracted. So I feel like if you're disciplining yourself to get each task done, you're still going to be doing awesome in school.
That's it for this episode. We will end with a special Valentine's Day segment, where for the second year, Joanna and I asked North students, who is your Valentine? Wrong answers only.
Who's your Valentine? Wrong answers only.
John F. Kennedy.
Who's your Valentine? Wrong answers only. Actually, I'm gluten-free, so. Who's your Valentine? Wrong answers only.
So my Valentine this year is Jeff Bezos. He's sending me a lot of packages, and I think he's in love with me.
Who's your Valentine? Wrong answers only.
Willy Wonka.
Who's your Valentine? Wrong answers only.
Beetlejuice, 100%.
Good answer.
Who's your Valentine? Wrong answers only.
Tom Holland.